Hi there. If you came to Norway through family immigration and you're now planning to apply for Norwegian citizenship, this video explains exactly what the language and knowledge requirements are, according to official rules updated on October 1, 2022.
Let's start with the two main requirements for getting Norwegian citizenship. According to official regulations from UDI, effective from October 1, 2022. You must do two things.
Du må dokumentere norskkunnskaper på nivå B1 dersom du mellom 18 og 67 år. Du må også ha bestått en prøve i samfunnskunnskap på norsk.
First, you have to pass a Norwegian speaking test at B1 level, not A1, not A2. Second, you need to pass a society knowledge test, and it must be taken in Norwegian. So just attending a Norwegian course is not enough. You must pass the official tests. And yes, these rules apply even if you're here through family immigration. So, who exactly needs to meet the language requirement? The regulation says,
Du må dokumentere norskkunnskaper på nivå B1 dersom du mellom 18 og 67 år. Kravene gjelder uansett hvilken tillatelse du har fått opphold på grunnlag av.
If you are between 18 and 67 years old, you must prove that your spoken Norwegian is at level B1. But here's the important part. It applies regardless of what kind of residence permit you have. That means this rule applies to family immigration, work permits, bang study permits, bang citation, bang refugee or protection status, station shuffleable, wommeletwable, rarying wommeletwable, bangzation, bangs. A lot of people believe that family immigration means they're automatically exempt. That's not true. The regulation clearly states, oneset, vilken tillatelse, regardless of your residence basis. Another mistake people make. I'm almost 67, so I probably don't need to take the test. Nope. The rule only exempts you after your 67th birthday, not before. And finally, having a permanent residence permit is not enough. Permanent residence and citizenship are two different things. To become a citizen, you must meet additional requirements, including the B1 speaking test and the society knowledge test. Let's talk about what B1 level in Norwegian speaking actually means, and what it doesn't. According to UDI and CEFR standards, B1 means you can manage everyday conversations confidently. You don't have to be perfect, but you should be able to. Describe your life experiences. Talk about your work, studies, family and hobbies. Express opinions clearly. Handle most conversations without breaking into English. But here's where many people go wrong. First, only speaking is tested. Not reading, not writing. So don't waste time studying for the parts that aren't required. Second, A2 is not enough anymore. If you took an A2 level exam last year, that won't count for citizenship now. Since October 2022, B1 is the minimum. And third, just because you feel fluent doesn't mean you'll pass the test. The test is structured and formal. You need to show that you meet the criteria, like giving clear answers, using correct connectors, and responding with detail. So, know what the test expects and prepare for that, not just for conversation. Let's now talk about the actual tests you can take to prove B1 speaking, and which ones don't count anymore. The main test used today is called Norskprøven, run by Kompetens Norge. You only need to take and pass the speaking section of that test at B1 level or higher. Other accepted tests include older versions like Norskprøven 2 or 3, but only if taken between 2005 and 2014. The Norwegian Sign Language test, if that applies to you, and the Sami language test, for applicants living in Sami-speaking communities. But let's clear something up. A lot of people think the Bergenstest still counts. It doesn't. It was discontinued and is no longer accepted for citizenship after October 2022. Also, some people try to take all parts of Norskprøven, reading, writing, listening. You don't need to. Just focus on the speaking part. That's the only part that matters for this requirement. And finally, passing a 2 level on an older Norskprøven is no longer sufficient. Only B1 or higher in speaking will meet the requirement. Let's talk about the society knowledge test and why it's a key part of your citizenship application.
Du må ha bestått en prøve i samfunnskunnskap, eller Statsborgerprøven på norsk.
To meet this requirement, you must pass either the Samfunnskunnskapsprøven or the Statsborgerprøven. Both tests check your understanding of Norwegian society, things like government, rights and duties, gender equality, history, and culture. Now here's the important update. Since October 1st, 2022, the test must be taken in Norwegian if you're applying for citizenship. If you passed it before in another language, for example English or Arabic, that result no longer counts. Why? Because the goal isn't just to check what you know about Norway, charter. It's also to make sure you can understand and use Norwegian when talking about society and civic issues. A lot of people confuse this test with the language test, but they are two separate requirements. Even if you pass the B1 speaking test, you still need to pass this knowledge test in Norwegian. So make sure you prepare for both. Do you need to take a Norwegian course?
Du trenger ikke dokumentasjon på gjennomført norskopplæring, men du må bestå en godkjent muntlig norskprøve på minimum nivå B1.
Now let's clear up a really common question. Do you have to attend a Norwegian course to apply for citizenship? The answer is no. According to the official rule from UDI, you don't need to show proof that you attended any language course. You just need to pass the approved B1 level speaking test. That's it. The same applies to the society knowledge requirement. You don't have to show how many hours you studied. You only need to show that you passed the test, in Norwegian. Now, if you're new in Norway, your municipality may still require you to attend a certain number of hours of classes. For your permanent residence permit, usually 600 hours. But that's different from the citizenship requirements, so don't get the two confused. To summarize, you don't need proof of course attendance. You just need to pass the official tests.
Du kan få fritak dersom du er over 67 år, eller har dokumenterte særlige utfordringer som gjør det urimelig å kreve at du gjennomfører og består prøven.
Let's talk about exemptions. Who doesn't need to take the tests when applying for Norwegian citizenship? There are two main situations where you might be exempt. First, age. If you are 67 years old or older, you are automatically exempt from both the language and society knowledge tests. But keep in mind, you're only exempt on or after your 67th birthday, not before. If you're 66 years and 11 months old, sorry, you still have to take the test. Second, health or learning difficulties. If you have a documented medical condition, a disability, or a diagnosed learning difficulty, you can apply for an exemption. You'll need to include a letter or report from a qualified doctor, therapist, or specialist. UDI will review your case and decide if it would be unreasonable to require you to take the test. And finally, if you completed Norwegian or Sami language as a school subject in the Norwegian education system, you may also be exempt, but you need to provide your official transcripts showing that you passed. So to recap, there are a few very specific exemptions. But unless you meet the criteria, you must take and pass the tests. Now let's address something that comes up all the time. People asking, I'm here through family immigration. Does that make the citizenship process easier for me? The answer is simple, no. According to the official rule from UDI.
Kravene gjelder uansett hvilken tillatelse du har fått opphold på grunnlag av.
The citizenship requirements apply regardless of the type of residence permit you have. The regulation even uses those exact words. Uansett hvilken tillatelse. No matter what kind of permit you have. So if you're between 18 and 67 years old, it doesn't matter whether you came to Norway through family immigration, work, studies, or as a refugee. You must meet the same language and society knowledge test requirements as everyone else. And yes, even if you don't work, even if your spouse supports you, that doesn't affect this rule. People sometimes expect more flexibility in family reunification cases, but that's a residence permit issue, not a citizenship rule. For citizenship, the requirements are strict, clear, and universal. Before we wrap up, let's clear up some of the most common myths about applying for Norwegian citizenship. Myth number 1. I just need to attend a course. Not true. UDI doesn't care how you learned Norwegian, only that you passed the test. Course attendance alone is not enough. Myth number 2. I passed the society test in English a few years ago, that should count. Nope. Since October 2022, the society knowledge test must be taken in Norwegian to qualify for citizenship. Myth number 3. Family immigration has different rules. Wrong. The regulations say the requirements apply regardless of residence permit. Family applicants must meet the same standards. Feil. Myth number 4. I speak Norwegian every day. I'll pass easily. Be careful. The test is structured. You need to give full answers, follow prompts, and meet specific assessment criteria. Myth number 5. I'm turning 67 soon. I probably don't have to do this. Unfortunately, no. You're only exempt on or after your 67th birthday, not a day earlier. What you must do, if you're 18 to 67 years old: pass a B1 level Norwegian speaking test, pass a society knowledge test in Norwegian. Submit official test results, not just course attendance. Prepare for both tests using approved content and real practice. Let's finish with the most important part. How to prepare effectively. Yes, you can study on your own, but if you want a structured, efficient path to passing the tests, we recommend working with experienced instructors. At En-til-en Norwegian Language School, we offer both one-on-one and small group classes to help you prepare specifically for the Norskprøven B1 speaking test, En-til-en English to Tadis Bust, the Statsborgerprøven, or Samfunnskunnskapsprøven, in Norwegian as required. Our classes are targeted and efficient. We don't waste time on general grammar. We teach exactly what's tested. You'll get mock test practice, real feedback, and the confidence you need to succeed. Whether you prefer private sessions or a focused group setting, we've helped hundreds of students prepare for exactly these tests, and we'd be happy to help you too. Visit our website to learn more, or book a free consultation. Thank you for watching. If this guide helped you understand the citizenship requirements more clearly, please like, share, and follow, so more people can feel confident in their Norwegian journey. Our summer courses are now open. Sign up before May 15th and get 10% off with code SUMMER. Want to earn by recommending our courses? Join our affiliate program today.